Hello, I'm Jacob Schulte. Over the years, Phil Mickelson has put together one of the most impressive careers in the history of professional golf. But the thing that makes Phil really stand out is his ability to connect to his fans and supporters. I pose this question to you. Are professional athletes all money hungry, prima donnas that only care about winning and nothing else? With enormous salaries and huge fan bases, professional sports have become a religion of sorts for millions of people all over the world. My love of sports and consequently the endless amounts of hours that I spend watching and studying them has put me in a position to speak with knowledge on many sports, especially the great game of golf. Usually, an athlete considered to be one of the best of all time is seemingly unapproachable and can many times be considered somewhat of a jerk. However, with his enormous success and great charitable works, Phil Mickelson definitely bucks that trend. Phil Mickelson has already become a Hall of Fame golfer with his outstanding individual and team play in his career. But the Phil Mickelson off the golf course really makes him stand alone from his peers. Just a little background about Phil Mickelson and his career. Over the course of his 21-year career, Phil Mickelson is widely considered to be one of the best golfers of all time in individual events as well as team events that occur every couple years. During the course of his career, Phil Mickelson has 51 wins on professional events, including 42 wins on the PGA Tour and 5 major victories. His 42 victories on the PGA Tour put him 9th on the list of total victories in a career of the PGA Tour. Phil Mickelson has also been a part of every President's Cup team since he turned pro and has amassed a 20, 16, and 11 record over that period of time. He's been on the President's Cup team a record 10 times in his career and has amassed a total of 25.5 points for his team, which is also a record. As a professional athlete in a largely individual sport, the pressures of winning can sometimes take their toll on athletes, making them rather tense and unapproachable. However, Phil seems to be perfectly at peace, winning or losing. While Phil Mickelson is considered to be one of the best of all time, his ability to connect to the fans and never take himself too seriously on and off the course are what make Phil such a pleasure to watch. Phil Mickelson has perhaps one of the most loyal and large followings in the history of the PGA Tour. He is very well known for signing autographs for hours immediately following his rounds. As an avid golf fan and having the opportunity to see several tournaments, I have personally witnessed Phil sign autographs into the late hours so as not to have to turn anyone away. The thing that makes him so lovable on the course is his infectious smile and his jovial attitude despite the pressures of his job. Phil is known as a big risk taker on tour, which has led to his success, but also to disaster many times. However, he remains positive throughout and is never known to throw tantrums or anything like that. He also just continues to smile despite what's happening during his rounds. Using his fame and influence, Phil has become more of a philanthropist and has used his said fame to help people from every makeup, from children to soldiers. Phil Mickelson has taken his immense fame and wealth and started the Phil and Amy Mickelson Foundation, which funds a variety of youth and family initiatives, as well as supports numerous other charitable organizations. With career earnings in the $70+ million on tour and very lucrative endorsement deals, Phil Mickelson has put much of his wealth and influence to work for great causes. In 2004, Phil and his wife Amy started their foundation to support children, teachers, and soldiers. Some of the areas that they provide annual support for are things like Start Smart, which is a program in San Diego, his hometown, to teach young people that are becoming drivers and getting their licenses how to drive and how to be safe on the road. The Mickelson ExxonMobil Teachers Academy provides training to teachers who are looking to teach in the science and mathematics departments at their schools. Birdies for the Brave, which is an initiative he started where every birdie and every eagle he has on tour, he donates a set amount of dollars to soldiers in need. The Special Operations Warrior Foundation, which provides money to fallen special ops soldiers provides money to their families, as well as their children to go to school and college education and things like that, as well as Homes for Troops, which takes soldiers who've been hurt in duty and helps them retrofit their houses to make it easier for them to get around if they have wheelchairs or anything like that, or builds them new houses to make that happen. As one of the world's most recognizable athletes, his play on the course as well as his good deeds off the course make Phil Mickelson an inspiration and a role model to many. In 2008 at the BMW Championship in St. Louis, I was fortunate enough to see one of the greatest golfers of all time show his real self on the course simply by giving my nephew a golf ball. I was at the tournament with my brother, my father, and my nephew, and my nephew, of course, was bored out of his mind and was sitting there having to have ketchup all over his face from eating a hot dog. And Phil Mickelson walked by and tossed him a ball. Pretty much the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. In fact, my brother and I were probably more excited than my nephew, considering I don't even know if he knew who that was. As a golfer in the top 10 of all-time golfers in the world, Phil Mickelson has an infectious smile and seemingly guy-next-door persona. Has been able to win over the love of fans and has used that to do wonderful charitable works for people in his community. So I tell you, the next time you have some free time on a weekend, tune your TV to a golf tournament and see for yourself how fun golf can be to watch when you're watching a smiling, jovial Phil Mickelson. Thank you.
Now that's what I call a hole in